Hello, you're watching News Mongolia and MNB World. I'm your host, Ayundaliro Basanho. Our top stories: 737 COVID-19 cases, 11 additional deaths reported. ADB projects Mongolian economic growth to reach 4.8% in 2021. Mongolia provides humanitarian assistance to the people and government of India. For other news, stay tuned. "737 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed nationwide, and 11 more people have died in the past 24 hours, the Ministry of Health reports. As of today, 737 new cases were confirmed, bringing the total number of COVID-19 cases in Mongolia to 43,201. 1,291 more patients have recovered and have been discharged from hospital or home treatment. Unfortunately, 11 people between the ages of 45 to 81 died due to COVID-19 complications within the past 24 hours, and the death toll is now 153. Of today's new cases, 734 are cases of domestic transmission and 3 cases originated at a hospital. 681 were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar and 53 were confirmed in the provinces. Among the 4,888 COVID-19 patients being treated at hospitals, 57.4% are showing mild symptoms of illness and 125 are in critical condition. Yesterday, 116,177 people got vaccinated, and the total number of people who received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine is over 1.3 million, and nearly 600,000 have received the second dose of vaccine. Asian Development Bank has issued its flagship economic report, Asian Development Outlook 2021. ADB expects Mongolia's economic growth to recover to 4.8% in 2021 compared to the 5.3% contraction seen in 2020 before climbing to 5.7% in 2022, boosted by domestic demand, investment, increased private credit, and full recovery across economic sectors. Details are in the following report.
Driven by favorable terms of trade and high export demand, Mongolia's economic growth is expected to recover gradually in 2021 and accelerate in 2022 as pandemic risks fade and the global recovery strengthens.
After 3 years of robust growth prior to COVID-19, the economy plunged into a deep contraction for the first time in 11 years as the pandemic caused industrial output and investment to slump, creating urgent needs in public health, social protection, employment support, and financial stability. As Mongolia faces elevated health risk for the population, it needs to ensure a proactive management of the pandemic to mitigate threats of public health and secure access to vaccines. Moving beyond the pandemic, Mongolia should focus on accelerating structural reforms, promoting investment, rebalancing fiscal and debt metrics, and strengthening financial stability to sustain growth.
Growth prospects in 2021 through 2022 will largely depend on the course of the COVID-19 pandemic, the pace of economic recovery in the neighboring People's Republic of China, the rebounding of commodity exports, the overall investment climate, and private sector credit growth. According to the report, until the vaccination target of 60% of the population is achieved, concerns over public health will continue to dampen domestic demand and business confidence, which will result in uneven recovery outside of the mining sector. However, the ADB believes that business sentiment and economic prospects will be better in 2022 as COVID-19 concerns ease. Average inflation is projected to accelerate to 6.9% in 2021 and 8.5% in 2022, rising above the 6% medium-term inflation target as the economy and demand recover. Fuel prices increase and exchange rate effects pass through the prices for imported goods. The current account deficit is projected to widen to equal 8.3% of gross domestic product in 2021 and 10.7% of GDP in 2022, mainly based on an expected increase in imports of goods and services in conjunction with rising domestic demand, higher imports of machinery and equipment as mining recovers, and higher international oil prices.
Thank you for staying tuned with us. Now let's look at Mongolia's current affairs.
The government and people of Mongolia have come forward with a helping hand to the people and government of India, Mongolia's spiritual neighbor and strategic partner in the common fight against the pandemic. The government of Mongolia decided to donate $1 million to the people and government of India at this time of trial and transfer it to the Indian Red Cross Society. The public in Mongolia, through their campaign #TogetherForIndia, have also raised almost $50,000 to help the people of India in their fight against the pandemic. The Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, has expressed sincere appreciation for the noble gesture by the government and friendly people of Mongolia. The fund raised by the public would be transferred to the PM Cares Fund, Public Charitable Trust of India. The ambassador of Mongolia to the French Republic, Mr. Patou, received Miss Marie Favreau, a professor of history at the University of Paris-Nanterre and an associate researcher at the University of Oxford, to discuss about her recently published book, The Ord: How the Mongols Changed the World, as well as the increasing interest among French publishers and readers about Genghis Khan studies and documents. Researcher Marie Favreau noted that she's working on the Genghis Khan exhibition project, which is programmed by the History Museum of Nantes, and studying actively subjects related to the Genghis Khan Empire period. They agreed to continue working together for the Nantes History Museum exhibition project, as well as the Golden Collection 999 project, an initiative of the Diplomatic Academy of Mongolia to collect books in foreign languages related to Genghis studies.
Now let's check on the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. The 2021 World Wrestling Olympic Qualification Tournament is being held in Sofia, Bulgaria. Double bronze medalist of the World Championships, Bikhbayar, has secured 8th spot for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics in freestyle wrestling for Mongolia.
The last freestyle wrestling competition for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics started yesterday. 5 Mongolian athletes are taking part in the competition, which is being held in Sofia, Bulgaria from June 6th through 9th. Yesterday, 3 out of 4 men's wrestlers finished the competition, while Bikhbayar, who competed in the 57 kg weight category, reached the final and won the 8th Olympic berth in freestyle wrestling from Mongolia. Bikhbayar reached the final by beating Georgi Edirashvili of Azerbaijan 6-2. There is only one wrestler left, Poltortoya, who will compete in this women's 62 kg weight class today. A maximum of 12 wrestlers from one country can participate in the Olympics in freestyle wrestling, and Mongolia has won 8 spots and is now aiming for the remaining one. Last month, Mongolia claimed Olympic spots in 4 of the 6 women's freestyle wrestling weight categories on day 2 of the Asian Olympic Qualification Tournament in Almaty in Kazakhstan.
And here's the weather forecast for major cities around the world. Well, that's all for today. Many thanks for staying with us on News Mongolia. See you next week with more stories and updates. Please follow MNB World on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great evening. Goodbye.